Hi, I'm Miss Kathy and I'm with Tucson Park and Recreation Center, and today I'm going to be showing you a little project for tots. I teach the 2 to 5 year olds music and art, and we are going to be making a little hat that's a mouse. So stay tuned. I want to show you, this is the hat that we're going to be making today. It's a little mouse hat and it actually fits me. And it's made out of paper bags, brown paper bags, a pipe cleaner, and some colored construction paper. If you don't have colored construction paper, you can use white paper and just color it the color that you'd like. Okay, now the two shapes that we're going to start with are going to be the body, which is a square piece of the bag, and then a rectangular piece for the headband, which goes around the back of your head. And so that's these two things right here. And what I did was I took one of these paper bags and I taped or clipped the tops together and I cut off the top. So what you would be doing, it's just easier to work with the bottom part of the bag if you get that top part off of there, because this way you can spread this out and trace your shapes. If the top's on it or the bottom's on it, it makes it really, really difficult. Okay, now I actually traced these ahead of time, so the body fits right in here and the headband fits right here. And then I have another one for the ears, and that's, the dimensions are on them. So what you would do would be to cut these out, and I'm going to go ahead and start cutting, but I won't spend the whole time just doing that. I've got everything ahead of time ready to go. I used a marker so that you could see it easier, but I would tell you it would be better to use a pencil, because if you make a mistake, it's really, you can't really cover it up. So, okay, now I've got these already cut out. So step number 1 is going to be this part of the hat, the face and then the band. So you're going to take your square or a diamond and you're going to fold it and crease it. And then what I do is I don't use hot glue because it's really dangerous, and I don't like staples because it gets caught in your hair. So I use tacky glue, and so I don't use a lot. I just put little drops of glue along here like this, and I lay it down, and if you rub over the area where the glue is and create a little heat there, it helps to set the glue up better. And then I use clothespins just to clip them so that they're not slipping and sliding. And then I do the same thing on the other side. And I always lay the glue bottle down. Oops, I glued it on the wrong side. Because it makes the glue come up a little bit faster. So I'm going to just set that down there. Now I'm going to set this over to the side. So this is what your first step was. Now what I want to do next is to make the ears, and that's another part of the brown paper bag. And then I used colored paper right here, and I just found some things at home that were the shape that I wanted. So this is going to be the ears, and I'm going to do this one in pencil. And then leave a little bit of space. So you have your ears ready, And then I traced around a tape roll. And what you want to do is when you're tracing, you don't want to go underneath like this, but to come from the top and go over there, because then you have a better chance to have a nicer circle. And then these are just soda tops. Leave a little bit of space between them. And again, so it's easier for you to see, this is the same thing, but just a different color. So these are going to be the nose right here, and then the inside of the ears. So I have these already cut out. So I'm going to lay these out. And again, just a little bit of glue. I know that the little children have difficulty with coordination with their hands when they're that small, so they're going to probably put a lot more glue on than you want them to. So what you might want to do is pour some of that glue in a little cup and then use a brush and have them swish it on that way, because I teach the 2 to 5-year-olds, and they'll have a big pile of glue on their stuff, and you know it's never going to dry. So anyway, now what I do with this is I set it off to the side and I put a little weight on it. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the whiskers for our mouse. And I just use a black marker, and it's the point right here. And I put 3 whiskers just because an uneven number is usually more interesting in art if you do that. And then turn it over to the other side. And if you want to make sure they're about in the same place, just pinch it so you can see where it's at. And it doesn't really matter. Okay, now I'm going to cut these smaller after I put them on. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. And here. And again, rub it. And then I'm going to put a clothespin on that so it stays in place while it's drying. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is the eyes. And what I did was I used some dots that I had at home, put them on white paper, and then you can actually cut this out a little bit easier, because making small circles is really, really difficult when you're trying to trace around them and cut around them. I'm just going to do one of them. Now the 2 that I have on the table are actually the backs of this. You're not going to have orange eyes, I promise. That would make your mouse look kind of sick, I'm afraid. Okay, so I'm going to use the white back, and see, here's the orange. So what I'll do is with my marker, I'm just going to go ahead and kind of make a circle, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a little hard to color. It helps if you make circular motions when you're filling a circle in. If you go straight across and back, it sometimes ends up looking like a square or a rectangle. Okay, and then you do the same thing for the other. So now what I'm going to do next is this. I actually am going to kind of fold this, because you can kind of see with the mouse right here that I've kind of created a bridge for his nose. So what you're going to do is from the nose, you're just going to kind of fold a triangle up here. So then that way it's going to be kind of open there, and then you can decide where you put the eye. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue right here. And set that on it, and I'm just going to push down with my hand for the heat. Now to get it on the other side, this is what I do. I put my thumb on it, and then I put my finger and I look straight down like that so you can see it's in the same area. And I'm going to put a little dot with a pencil. And then when I put the glue down, what I do is look at it first, open it up, and make sure they're about in the same area. And then I'm just going to pinch them, hold them like this. All right, next you put the ears on. So you're going to glue, and I'm just going to do one of them. And I follow this line right here. And you'll do the same thing for the other side. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and pinch these. And then the last thing you want to do is the tail. So I'm going to take a hole, scissors, and make a little hole. And what I do with this is I put it around a pipe cleaner, around a pen, and I make like a spiral, and then that slides right off, and you can stretch it out just a little bit, and then just feed it through that opening. And what I do is I bend it back, and once this is all done, there's your mouse hat.